a multiple EAF national champion, and he is also a multiple WAF champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the defending East versus West World Lightweight Champion, Moriarty Mindaugas Talasaitis!
Ladies and gentlemen, an absolute crowd pleaser. One of the most veteran pullers here at East vs. West. It is my 5th or 6th time here in the announcer booth, and each time Mindaugas Talasaitis has been on the card. I watched him systematically break down Daniel, the former lightweight champion, the last time we were here in Istanbul. We've said it before, every match he will most likely be the power underdog, but make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a very polished arm wrestling savant in Mindaugas Talasaitis.
The opportunity for adjustment is probably better for Mindaugas Talasaitis. Power. Raw red line top end favors Makarov.
Don't move. Go!
We go to the straps. World champion in the red shirt. Makarov will challenge it in blue. We've seen a real evolution, I would say, in Mindaugas Talasaitis throughout this last few outings, particularly when he took the title from Daniel Prokopchuk.
No doubt, and one of the things that I've been drawn to whenever we see the silhouette, we see the size. Look at the technical prowess of right there. If you're watching arm wrestling right before that referee put his hands, you can see Mindaugas has made his 2 fingers almost 1 finger in making sure that that index finger is kind of lost underneath that middle finger. That then allows him to stick all of that meat. Look at how much of his hand is above the thumb pad of Arthur. Absolute clinic when it comes to the sport of arm wrestling. Not only is he bigger, just from a silhouette standpoint, his hand looks massively controlling from where I'm at now. And there's no way Arthur has a thumb knuckle anywhere near sight right now.
Arthur is massively powerful, but technical.
Не пойдет, не пойдет. Нет, нет. Не пойдет. Не... That's it, Bart. That's it. That's it. Whoa, yeah. That's it. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, when you shake Arthur's hand, you see an awkward hand there. The awkward hand, to me, is not an advantage here. With, I tell you, boy, every time I'm around this guy, he becomes a bigger hero in the sport of arm wrestling. Mindaugas is an absolute stud.
And he's able to apply that in arm wrestling matches. And he started to do it again. Exposed the hand of Arthur Makarov horribly in the first strike. Can he do it again? He gets some real fatigue.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that Arthur is allowing the setup here. His thumb knuckles gone. Mendicus is so amazing at the start. And here's the level of arm strength. Arthur has an abnormal setup. If you look at his wrist from wrist to elbow, you can see a little mutant kind of in there. The dominating start there, it just goes to show you that if you're not careful, the lane will require horsepower. The horsepower is in the blue jersey today. Let's see if, and we've seen it in the past, the absolute killer setup from Mendicus is usually enough, if not at the start. There you see such domination early, and Arthur able to kind of shut those angles and leverage down. Let's see if he got the grip. Start thinking about, if the match is close, what side of the table are you on? Are you able to take advantage of the strap advantage? Sometimes in these 3-round bouts, that round would be so important. Taking a loss, Neil, on the good side of the table with what is proposed, the good side of the strap.
Yes.
If this match is only going 3 rounds, you could see to where that could be a potential problem here in round 2. The fact that this match has to go to round 5, not as nearly as bad as it seems. However, you would like to see a really good fight, if not a win from Mendicus here in round 2. If not, you're looking at round 3 down 0-2 and supposedly having the bad side of the strap.
I need to
run over. And yet he then managed to join up his arm wrestling and really put the moves down. I'm hoping that he can show us some of that today. Makarov will want this to be an ugly match. He'll want this to happen in a form box. Keep it really tight, make it about arm strength, and get Tarasetis palm up as early as he can. Disengage the hand and wrist, disengage the pronator. He needs to refocus here, the champion. It's the man in the red shirt from Lithuania, Mindaugas Tarasetis Moriarty. He always has a master plan. Can he put it to good effect tonight, or will he be run over by the more powerful man in the blue shirt?
Yeah, now we're going to the strap here in round 2. We saw a lot of respect there in round 1. They slipped right away. Round 2, if Mendicus would have been in control, you're going to start to see Arthur needing the straps way more than Mendicus at this point. If we can get a win, Mendicus will start to make it harder and harder, as Fia did on even getting to the strap there.
Concerningly for Tarasetis, he got a couple of jump starts in there and didn't manage to get ready. No, missed that completely. Terrible miss time there. He almost went stopped and then tried to go again. That's what he did. The Makarov, who's now in a resting position, was already dug really deep. And Mindaugas Tarasetis trying to put some bullets into Makarov, but he needs to be careful, because by doing so, he could tire out his own back and destroy his gameplay. Very, very big win that one for the challenger. Huge win.
Definitely the story of the day is that Arthur Makarov is a super tight. Do you see how far Mendicus is from hand to shoulder once Arthur is in there nice and tight? Not a great start. definitely a daunting task ahead of the champ here. Now let's put it out here. If you want to become an absolute hero to this audience, and it's a big audience, Neil. I just walked out on the balcony. If this is all set up for Mendigas to become the greatest human being here, if somehow. But the more you watch the match, the more it's clear that that belt is about to change hands here tonight, Neil Pickup. And I know he's your boy. I know it's hard for you to I know this is setting hard with you. But the truth is you're down 2-0 and you're about to get the bad side of the table. You have to go in the strap because you can't afford not to continue the pressure. This is all looking like Arthur is setting up to not only have an amazing debut here, but to leave with the lightweight championship belt.
It's certainly looking like a very difficult task at the moment for Tanasatis, the champion, down 2-0. But more concerningly, he's the guy that's done more work at this stage. And more concerningly than that, Arthur Makarov did very little in those first 2 rounds. It was a dream start for Makarov. Once that strap was applied and he found the resting spot, he managed to drive that elbow forward, make it more around structure. And the big problem there for Mendigas, as I said earlier, is that he's staying on the brack. He's got one thing to do, and that is to try to hold his pronation and top roll the hand of Makarov. He's failed to do it on 2 occasions, and he's done a lot of work needlessly. He needs to get his game together now. Opportunity knocks here, Travis, because he's on the good side of the strap. It is a 7-rounder. And the thing about his style of arm wrestling, if, and it is a big if, he can expose the hand and wrist of the challenger, you do feel like a great deal of damage would be done in that area. And Mendigas would be able to capitalize on it time and time again. We saw it against Prokopchuk. Could we see it tonight against Makarov?
And he's looking for to spend enough time on the winning side that will create a situation just like we seen earlier with Petro. With Petro, there was a situation where if you can even make the win cause so much damage in your opponent. But as of right now, not only has Arthur been dominant, but he's really been unmatched. He hasn't had his hand, barring that first match where he spent some time there at 10 o'clock. But even then, left to right, he was on his side of the table. He has a unique ability with that elbow being far away from his body at the beginning for it to get tight to his side immediately. And we've seen in the past with Mendigas that even though he was losing rounds, we could see a sense of progression, an ability to make it look harder each time. So far, the round 2 match looked a little easier than round 1 here. This is a huge uphill battle and one that may just be too much for Mendigas.
Mendigas mistimed the start in that second round very badly. He cannot afford to do that again. Needs to be really on his guns now. It was a lot better false start.
And I know from experience, this referee is hard to read, Neil. I don't know if you can draw a conclusion the last time that I was around this guy, but there was a Ukrainian on the other side.
On the start, but once again, Makarov has done damage, serious damage to the brack, to the arm of Tanasatis. And I'll tell you what, Mendigas looks like his arm is gassing badly there, mate. That was a slow, concise, but very, very authoritative win from Arthur Makarov. And the challenger is in fantastic shape right here.
No doubt. And if we're looking for a glimmer of hope, there was a little bit of attack panic there at the end. Just a tiny bit. I know from the naked eye it could look very dominant, which, listen, you're not crazy for thinking that Arthur's in control of this match. I can just tell you that he tried to end that thing a little smoother than Mendigas allowed. Down 3-2, now on the bad side of the strap, from what I believe. This looks like not only is it only wishful thinking that, but now he's just got to try to battle for some sort of showing here to know that even in defeat, you are going to see this out to the end. we need a false start. We definitely need for Mendigas, even though, I mean, he's been as high as you can get, right? I mean, his hand is up in there. There's no doubt. He needs to exaggerate it even more. Maybe we could get a little interference from the referee to just let us know that you are definitely trying your best, but it's going to take a little bit more. And listen, all this talk about Mendigas being this, being that, here, there's a superstar maybe right on the other side of the stage, and his name is Arthur, and he is an absolute beast. And now about to not only take the belt, but take it in maybe a 4-0 sweep, absolute convincing fashion. And with this guy taking care of Mendigas in this fashion, you got to only assume that not only is Arthur here, but he's maybe here to take over this class.
The pedigree of Arthur Makarov absolutely beyond question. This is a guy we've seen many times in battles, genuine battles with Arman Zulayev. He, a number of times, has looked like he was good for the win against Zulayev. Against Tarasatis, the position of Tarasatis on the hand was amazing. But it's still exactly where Makarov wanted it to be. Makarov smart there, sucking his thumb back. The referee not reacting to it and allowing Mendigas to get away with a lot on the hand. Makarov not reacting there because he knows exactly where this is going. And he's much more concerned about the lower hand in the start of the match. What he's going to try to do is, and interestingly again, we said it earlier with Ibrahim Sagov and Sandra Shedis, that position is not good for Mendigas. It's allowing Arthur Makarov to get his spot really well. And if you look, Makarov is driven onto the left side, and what he's going to do is bump to the side hard and then drive that elbow really far forward and wind it around. Half moon angle when the match stops, and that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the pronator of Mendigas Tarasatis.
And just so we're clear, there's no doubt that, Mendigas is an outstanding athlete, but doesn't possess the tools like Sandras to leave it all in the hook. There's no reason. Yeah, he's got to stay outside. He's got to be a little more convincing from the start. That's a little better.
A little more purchase on the hand and wrist, and this could be a lifeline for him. If he can crack that wrist back, the game changes immeasurably.
Remember the panic at the end of the last match. If that is attempted now, being this far from the pin, there could be a problem, and I just felt that.
You can see it there kicking in, and Makarov needs to finish here because his hand and wrist will be gassing badly. And this is a very interesting pivotal match, and he finishes it. That was well timed. It's an elbow foul. An elbow foul caught. My word, talk about leave it till the ragged edge. Ignore the score there, ladies and gentlemen. It will stay at 3 for the time being, and wow, nail-biting stuff here.
If you couldn't see it, Neil, if you couldn't see it in round 3, there was a little panic there at the end, and he was able to get the win. We saw that panic upgraded, right? If there's a level 3 tornado, hurricane, that was a level 6. That was an absolute elbow shaking, jaw shaking, elbow coming off the back. Absolute panic move from Arthur Makarov. Listen, even though it's 3-0, even though we've spent all the time with Mendigas less than 2 inches from the pad the whole day, I am telling you now, Neil, there's an out. There is a possible out. After 20 minutes into this show in absolute domination, there is an opportunity here for Mendigas to absolutely blow this room up.
There really is. Opportunity knocks hard on the door of Mendigas. Moriarty, Tarasatis in the red shirt, the defending champion of the lightweight division. East versus West 12, brought to you by ESN, The Beard Struggle, and Gold Star Coffee. We may be about to see something dramatic. Watch the wrist of Arthur Makarov. If that breaks back, we have ourselves an arm wrestling match. Interestingly now, we've seen the champion remain on the one muscle group throughout this match, and he's taxed it hard. We've seen Arthur Makarov have dominance early, But now there are some chinks of daylight because that hand is beginning to gas. And if the wrist goes back, Tarasetis is alive
Watch
along
the
goal.
stoppage. Is it at 10 o'clock or is it at 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock is too low. Stop.
And
that
away we
thing.
go. Massive drive from Tarasetis, but he's not got anywhere near as good a position as he'd palm up. And this is bad for the Lithuanian. Really bad. Makarov has targeted and it will take that pin. Makarov with the win. As soon as the Pro Meter was lost, it's game over for the Lithuanian. Some days you nail it, some days it nails you.
So amazing to watch the professionals do their work. No doubt, if we're watching the person, we're only watching the aggressor. We're seeing Mindaugas trying his best to work the hand. We saw some panic, but in the end, it shows there's such a slight adjustments that can be made. There is no doubt. Once again, I told you, the belts today for the men, there are 4 of them up for grabs. I do not believe nor one of them is safe. My prediction is that these belts would change hands 3 times tonight. This is the first one, and it will change hands. A king is born here, the king of the lightweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, make some noise for Artur Makarov. What an absolute great showing. Dominance. If you're not a savant of arm wrestling, this is a 4-0 sweep, and I'm not going to argue with you. However, if you know arm wrestling, Mindaugas Tarasetis, what an absolute tremendous champion that represented the lightweight class very proudly. But there's a new king in town.
I'm here with your new East versus West lightweight world champion, Artur Makarov. Belt presented by Kirill Sanichev. Как себя чувствуешь сейчас? How do you feel?
Великолепно. Чувствую идеально. Если честно, не думал, что все вот так вот получится. Миндаугас очень хорошо набрал и безумно выносливый. В какой-то момент я потерял веру. Господь Бог мне помог.
He said, I feel amazing. Mindaugas is definitely has gotten stronger, has great endurance. I didn't believe that this will happen, but it happened with help of God. Сейчас ты чемпион, ты должен защитить свой титул. Видишь себе хорошего соперника. So now you're the champion, you have to defend your title. Do you see yourself a good opponent you want to pull?
В моем весе есть также Даниэль Прокопчук. Я давно с ним не боролся. Ну, я не знаю, что Энген предложит. Энген, спасибо тебе, что пригласил меня сюда. И теперь я с поясом. Спасибо.
He said, in my way, there's Daniel Prokopchuk. Haven't had a match with him in a long time. But whoever Engin thinks that's the match for me, I want to thank him for bringing me here and letting me to have an opportunity to have the belt, and now he has the belt. Your new champion, Artur Makarov.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go, and we move to the men's super heavyweight division on the left arm for the next match here at East versus West 12. Brought to you by ESN and the Beard Struggle with Gold Star Coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our athletes now, making their way to the table. Firstly, starting with this man. He is a rising star of the super heavyweight division, hailing from and representing Sweden. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tobias Sparrow!
Ladies and gentlemen, don't let the baby face fool you. This young man is an absolute beast. Representing Sweden, Tobias Sporrong is an absolute animal. In the left-handed division, we're talking about poise, balance. What an explosive arm wrestler here in Istanbul. What a pleasure it is to be on the call. This is what heavyweight, left-handed arm wrestling is all about. What a great matchup we have in store. Raw power versus precision accuracy.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent now making his way to the table hails from and is representing Poland. This man is a multiple Polish national champion and is also the reigning Arm Wars champion of the world. Making his debut on the left arm here at East versus West. Please give a round of applause for the Golden Dragon, Kamil Jablonski!
Kamil Jablonski, what an absolute freight train. This gentleman here, ladies, could be the best left-handed super heavyweight in the world. Still making his rise, still has a lot to prove. But at 37 years old, this young man has arrived. Watch for how aggressive in nature, how committed to the inside press someone can actually be. You add all that up, and standing there at the end is Kamil Jablonski. We've heard the rumors, we've saw the video of his destruction of Devin Larratt, and I've been in the arena left-handed with Devin Larratt. Regardless of the circumstances, no easy task. We are witnessing right here. Is this young man, does he have what it takes to compete at this stage, at this level, against the very best in the world? I'm convinced that Kamil is that guy. Tobias Sporrong there representing in the red shirt on your left. Look for the grip, trying to stop Kamil. Kamil's all about that inside press here. You're going to see how reckless someone can be. If the hand and wrist positioning are positive, then you're going to see a really tough task. Tobias could be in big trouble here. As you can see, the craftiness. There's no doubt that Sporrong, this is not his first rodeo here. Had some problems there with Prudnik in the setup, and you can see he's going to get higher than Kamil. Kamil not really, he's looking for a lane. Sometimes the height can be an advantage.
Not blink. His first start will tell us so much now. Explosive drive from, whoa, elbow foul. Kamil Jablonski got pulled for the jump start. I don't believe that will be a win. At the moment, it's gone up on the board as 1-0. Tobias Sporrong, there you go, corrected on the blue shirt. Is the Golden Dragon of Poland, Kamil Jablonski. His opponent, Tobias Sporrong, but real rising start of Swedish professional arm wrestling. East versus West 12, brought to you by ESN. Are you ready? So explosive, both these men, real visceral arm wrestlers.
No, that's...
Tobias had a great spot in that first start. Big drive, massive hit. We're going to go into the strap match. We'll change the game immeasurably. Completely polar opposite approach to the sport from these athletes in that first start. The Golden Dragon in the blue shirt, all about that forward momentum. The press is the spiritual home of Jablonski. In the red shirt, the man from Sweden, Tobias Sprong. Looking for that top roll. Both these guys equally explosive there. Very little to tell from that first start. Tobias Sprong said we're going to see much more from him tonight. He's got more weapons in his arsenal than just the big booming top roll. Well, that's his go-to move, and he really utilised it there in that first start. Looking for the fast reversal to get himself out of danger. Doesn't want to be underneath the giant in the blue shirt, Kamil Jablonski.
Yes, it's good.
Super important to get that position correct there, and the timing is essential now for the Swede. The strap is going to make a huge amount of difference to the amount of pressure that can be applied by both men, but critically, the side pressure will be really evident now if Jablonski can land in there with the shoulder. And away we go! Massive drive, and it's Kamil, the Golden Dragon Jablonski with the win. And he closed down the light as Tobias Sprong looked for that reversing top roll. I'm sure we'll see it on the replay in a moment, but there was just nowhere to go. Such a huge man, Jablonski, and he literally crushed down and shut down the light there, straight to the pad. Ominous signs early for Tobias Sprong, because that man in the blue shirt, Kamil, the Golden Dragon Jablonski, is looking unstoppable. Look at this on the replay, Travis.
Super suffocating there, right? Everywhere you turn, it's just pressure inside, taking over the middle of the table, a relentless pursuit to the table, to the pin pad. Listen, this guy right here, you're going to have to stand up to this guy, get him outside of his shoulder before the match starts. If not, listen, I don't know if this is a fish grip opponent. This guy right here, if you're not careful, you will start at the pin pad. This guy could be the real deal, Neil Pickup. I said it before the start here.
Yes,
is
you
this
did.
guy the super heavyweight champ in the world in the making?
We talked about it today, and you called it. You said you loved this guy's proposition. You said you loved how he arm wrestled, and you fancied him for the win tonight. And right now, Mystic Travis, the prophecy is coming true, because he shut down the light, mate. Here we go.
The funny thing is that when you're trying to take over and you need that lane for that side pressure, it can be taken away, and not only taken away, but you can look like you don't have any answers. That's what happens to most of the aggressive pushers in the end. This guy right here, he just has so much confidence in the move right now. I'm not sure he's going to know when he's not supposed to do it, and sometimes just pure aggressiveness can be the deciding factor, Neil.
Ordinarily, Tobias Sprong is the faster man up there. Sprong is blisteringly quick, and he's moved his position on the pad a great deal there, Kamil, now. And that could be good news outside of the strap for Tobias. But as soon as that strap is applied, there is a different world of side pressure coming, and that's what Tobias needs to be aware of. He needs to try to do damage outside of the strap when he's got a little bit of room to move! Oh, and move he does! Wow! Reckoner! Absolute leveling blow. Tobias Sprong with unbelievable speed. The score is 1-1. Look at that on the replay. If we can get a slow-mo efficient enough. What about that for a
And you
response?
saw the move wasn't back. The move was towards the shoulder. Once the hand reaches outside, there's no pressure anymore. Listen, that is an absolute great job. Having success pre-strap has forced, listen, he understands the difference in and out of the strap. That was an amazing job taking advantage of that. Now, from what in the past, it's really hard to keep people out of the strap. as the match goes on, especially when one thinks he can win if he can accomplish that. We'll see about the rules. We'll see the posture. Can he really, really put a lot of pressure in the front? Because there's a place where that press is still active out of the strap if you fall underneath of it too much. That was perfect round 2. Round 3 is interesting. Out of the strap, there's no doubt that there's a clear favorite. And then if you resort back to round 1, you know that the straps could make a total different outcome here. What a match here. Great job by Engin Terzi and the East vs. West staff.
Both these men have shown that they have the ability to win this match and to win convincingly if they can get the style. If they can land where they need to. Sporrong of Sweden, that's the man in the red shirt. Only a young man needs to try to do what he can outside of the strap to take away that. Whoa, 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 whoa. That looked like a jump start, was a jump start. One warning on the Golden Dragon. And I would expect him to sort of play that card as much as he possibly can. Because if you
such a delicate position here. Yeah. This is a really tough because, listen, you need a little connection sideways towards that shoulder to really stay out of the strap. However, if you're not careful, there's too much purchase there, and Kamil's got a hold. Listen, any kind of connection, you have to know that left shoulder is coming behind as ferocious as one can bring it.
Yeah, it would be a good idea for Tobias to do as much work as he can without the strap. The strap will change things immeasurably. Kamil Jablonski a lot more opportunity to fire that side pressure in and drop that gigantic shoulder. That's the man in the blue shirt, Kamil Jablonski. Watch for that blistering speed from Tobias Sporrong. If a look to transition quickly. Big booming back pressure, then jump on top of the hand of the Golden Dragon. Needs to turn him palm up, get him outside the shoulder. First in will win. Here we go. Ooh, living dangerously now. Kamil. One foul, one warning. Excuse me, one foul. He got a warning on the first start, didn't he? So still alive, all, but not happy.
That's great for Tobias because, listen, he's taking that center, and that inch that he's able to push towards your pin pad, that's the inch you cannot get back, the inch that allows the shoulder to come at the proper angle. Now, if you're Tobias, you're pushing back, and if Kamil is fighting, then you're taking a little resistance off. If that movement happens again and he's able to get this double foul here, it will force Kamil to not be so aggressive pre-snap.
Down go the hands. Be ready. Sporrong in red, Jablonski in blue. Whoa, that is a foul.
Yeah, because you say don't move.
Minutia of decision making. Kamil Jablonski, we're not just getting a visual on the referees and what's being set up there, but we can hear that Kamil is not happy at all.
How much of a veteran can Tobias show me that he is? Because listen, Neil, any sort of side pressure that moves towards Tobias's pin pad will be a guilty verdict for Kamil. I'm not saying that it's a good idea, but as they're setting my hand, I may push towards that referee just a little bit.
We go. Down come the hands. Watch for that explosive start. Was not. I think that's harsh. That looked like, oh, that's harsh.
That did not look bad. However, if you think about what's needed, listen, this is 2 matches that Tobias has wins on, and that strap has not been brought out yet. Absolute veteran moment. And listen, Kamil has every right. He's like, listen, I understand, but that's a little nitpicky there.
Hey, you're not kidding. That looked like Tobias was, look, watch the wrist. Or maybe it was, oh, that is close. That looked pretty sharp. That's a hard call there.
And the sad part about that is that match was headed to the strap.
It was headed to the strap.
They let that go, which for Kamil is even more of a daunting thinking that you have that type of control.
Well, when you looked at it there, it looked like the hands came off when he hit the goal. So I don't know. But these are the fine margins that exact themselves on results day. And right now, look, you said a moment ago, mate, beautifully put, veteran moment for that young man from Sweden. He's showing maturity beyond his years at the arm wrestling table. He is as calm as a mill pond. Not a breath of panic, not a breath of concern. Same can't be said for the Golden Dragon. A little bit of a toweling down.
And we
ready
did
to
see
go
a
again.
round one win with Camille in this strap, but we didn't see it on the bad side of the strap. We didn't get there. If you note round two, when they're in the same position they're about to be in, Camille is on the bad side. They were small. Well, listen, Tobias made sure that that thing didn't hit the strap. But if you add it all up, you still don't know. There's a chance that Sprong can be successful even in the strap if applied on this side of the table and have that buckle there on the back of Camille's hand. This is a great place for the Sweden to be. After round one, no one would envision the 2 straight wins and no strap applied. This is a great place. He's got the referee on his side. A lot of panic could be setting in for Camille. And the last time they were here, he didn't allow the strap to be applied. He looks like his posture's leaning forward, Neil. This thing may never see the straps again today.
Well, he's got Camille boxed in there. If you look at Camille's elbow, he's so far to the edge of the pad that he's really got nowhere to go. And if he can't rush forward quickly enough to get that strap applied, then it's going to be a very bad day for him. And Tobias Sprong, perhaps his biggest, most dangerous weapon is that speed, that explosivity. He does it so well. And as I said earlier, he told us he was going to show off more tonight. He was going to show that technical range that he has. And to be fair to the man, he certainly did that to get the second win. I think he got away with one on the third, but you pay your money, you take your chance, and we've all been there. Right now, Jablonski needs something, and he needs it now.
Definitely needs to see that strap again before this match is over.
He's going to get it there, if not a
He
pin.
is going to get it if he doesn't pin him.
He has pinned. Oh, my word, that man is so strong. When he ain't... Wow. When that shoulder is engaged, that is ridiculously strong, and he goes back to the good side now, Travis.
And there's a level of strength, Neil, that's required in order to pin someone in that position in the strap. The level of strength that is required out of the strap is absolutely amazing. The grip strength from a compromised wrist is a wonder of the world to guys like me. That human being there, he's got it. How close is this match? 2 outstanding athletes here in Istanbul.
We spoke about this, and I did call it before the start of the match. These guys could be extremely close in level. If they get their position, it will be dominant, dominant, dominant. Whoever lands first where they want to be will finish this match, and we've seen it play out in evidence today. They're so polar opposite in terms of the technical approach to the match. But that was
in the
impressive.
story, yeah, and the story starts with the Swede trying his best to get out of the match, right? Get into the strap, understanding, having a ton of respect for the young man. Then he realizes after he feels the straps that it may be better to attack him out of the strap. Is super successful with his grip. Comes back in round 3, now gets the big guy a little panicked and trying to get to the fouls, is able to win one with the controversial foul out. Now we go to round 4. You stay in there nice and tight, trying to take advantages of all the things outside of the strap, and the big man's able to push down. Round 5, we have to see the straps again. I
Here we
cannot
go.
imagine that Spurlong has the confidence to not put a little weight on that triceps